and gentlemen, my name is Chris Dimitriou. Today we're going to talk about the national services around the different countries.
Okay, now what class are you in, Chris? Okay, so today what you say is, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Dimitriou, class 5411, and today I'm going to talk about national services in a couple of different countries. Okay, fine. So the overview, please.
I'm going to talk about 3 countries of national service, recruitment information, differences, my own experience, and my conclusion. 3 countries that I've chosen is Turkey, Israel, and Cyprus. As you can see there, in Turkey, the men join the army at 20 years of age for 15 months. Homosexuals are exempt. Limited career options for women, like women do not have to join the army like men at 18, but they can go in the army as officials. But also in Turkey, you can actually pay a fee of 5,112 euros to avoid the services. So you can actually pay the army not to do it, just to avoid it. In Israel, men join at 18 as well for 3 years.
Okay, because let's talk about it. That's perfect. That's exactly the way to do it. So just bring it back down and I'm going to switch the camera on, okay? It's absolutely fine on. Now, is everybody's phone off? Okay. So, just take your time to introduce yourself, your class number, and tell them exactly what you're going to. So the way, like I said last week, the way a presentation works, you tell them what you want to tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. That's it, okay? Here we go. Just
Don't move.
here we go.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Dimitriou, class 5411, and today we're going to talk about national services around different countries. I'm going to talk about 3 countries of national service, the recruitment information, differences, my own experience, and my conclusion. The 3 countries that I've chosen is Turkey, Israel, and Cyprus. As you can see there, in Turkey, men join the army at 20 years of age for 15 months. Homosexuals are exempt. Limited career option for women. Women do not have to join the army when they're 18, or they don't join the army. They can go for officials, they can go and work for the army. And also in Turkey, you can actually pay a fee for 5,112 euros to avoid the services. In Israel, men join in at 18 years of age for 3 years. And the women have to join the army as well at 18, but women only serve 2 years. Homosexuals serve openly with no discrimination. They actually have special forces. They can actually join the special forces with no discrimination. Orthodox women and married men with kids get exempted as well. In Cyprus, the men join at 18 years of age for 2 years. Homosexuals are exempt. Limited career options for women as well. In Cyprus, the women do not join the army, but they can go to work for the army as well. My conclusion about the army is I think around the world all the countries should have national services for protection for the army, and as well for people like, let's say, the kids in the streets now, 16, 17 years of age. They haven't got nothing to do. They leave the schools and they end up selling drugs in the streets, and they end up murderers as well. But if they have to join the army at 18 years of age, it gives them something they learn how to survive, they learn how to become men, as they say. So when you're 18, you're 20, then 2 years changes you in the army. So thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Are there any other countries that allow you to not join the army?
There are countries like the Americans. The Americans used to have the national services. They don't do national services anymore. Most of the countries that do national services now is the countries that they are in war, or they actually have, like Cyprus. Turkey invaded Cyprus, and they still occupy the island. So we have to have national services. We have to have an army to look after the borders, to be ready for just in case Turkey decides to invade the whole of the island. So if they decide to do that, if there's no national services, then God help us. I don't think. Any more other questions?
Does all the countries accept homosexuals?
Does
all the country services accept homosexuals?
I actually think it's only Israel that accepts homosexuals. Only in Israel they do accept them. I don't know why they don't accept them in other countries, but That's discrimination. I don't know why not.
What
Any other
way
questions?
did it change you? In the 2 years, Chris, what way did it change you?
Yeah, also my own experience in the army, that changed me a lot actually, because you go into the army and your mind still is like, you think as a child, you know, you go into the army and then suddenly you have to cook yourself, you have to clean, you have to wash your clothes, and also being on guard duty, they call you at 2 o'clock in the morning and you wake up, and it changes you a lot, you know. And then when you come out of the army, you're more as a man, you know. You're more, and you're just more as a man. I think, you know, you don't think as you were thinking before you go in the army.
Did you have any negative experiences?
Negative experience I did actually when I was on the Green Line. The Green Line is where the island is divided. That's where the Turkish forces are actually 20, 30 meters, and then you're standing here and they're over there. But obviously, Turkish army it has more soldiers than the Cypriot army. So on guard duty, they have 3 people guarding the lines. Cyprus only has 1 person. So every 2 hours you change. So you standing there on your own, you and your gun, and then there's 3 Turkish soldiers over there. So what happens is, they start calling you names, they're trying to get you over, and as soon as you cross that line, that border, they actually have the right to shoot you and they can kill you, and nothing will happen to them, or, you know, they actually get a medal, you know, because you actually tried to go to their side, and they're allowed to shoot you. So actually, I did have a couple of experiences. They did try to call me over, offering me cigarettes, and they offered me just food, and they say come and with friends, and when I went to cross over, I looked at the back of one of the soldiers. He was talking to me, being nice, and at the background I could see one soldier hiding with his gun right on me, and I've seen that. And then I just walked back, and then and other nights they were throwing stones on me. It's just, that's how it is though. You know, there's a lot of hate going on, but it's never going to change.
Chris, what happens if you don't serve don't do national service?
If you don't do the national services, the 2 years that you're supposed to serve for your country, you're either going to do 2 years in prison, or you're going to do, or depends of what the reason of why you didn't go to the army. So you're either going to do prison in 2 years, or you're going to do prison 2 years and pay a fee. And I think the fee is £5,000 it was. So now I think it's 10 or 11,000 euros. So you do the prison and you pay a fee as well. So I think the best thing to do is just go, do the 2 years, and then come out and then be a free man. Well, you're not really a free man because you still have to go back, and every year you have to go 2 times a year for shooting targets, or just to show yourself, just to say that you're here because if your country needs you. You know? Yeah. Any more other questions?
Are Cyprus still at war?
We're not actually in war. Turkey still has half of the island. They're still there in the country. We're not at war. We can actually go now to our side, to the other side, which is the North Cyprus, which the Turks call it Turkish side, but obviously Cyprus. You can still go, but you have to show your passport and you have to sign a paper saying you actually agree to the Turkish law, and you have to sign papers so you can actually go there. Any more other questions?
Do you think that the army helped or hindered you more in your life experience?
I did, yeah, it did help me, because I actually look back and think of myself, and if I say, if I wasn't in the army, how would I, then 2 years I would have been either on the streets, hanging out, and probably selling drugs, or probably just doing, I don't know what I was doing, but now I feel proud as well, because I served my country for them 2 years, and I feel like if they do need me and I have to go back, I will go back, because of my country and my family. So I do think it helped me a lot.
Okay, Chris, well done. Thank you very much. Well done. 8 minutes. Now, what you called was very short.
Yeah.
The presentation itself was very short. Now, that you could have, the guys were very good. They kept asking you questions, and more to the point, you knew you were able to handle it, so it's done. But for the rest of you, you'd be better off relying on information.
Because of the people didn't ask any questions?
Because if people don't ask enough questions, exactly. And to be fair, you did. You got them over the line, okay? But that's so it was very short, and there was a whole pile of. I mean, for instance, Holland and Germany. They in Germany you can opt to do social services rather than the army.
Yeah.
Holland's you can hold trade.
I actually chose just 3 countries, or they want to go more like 4
Yeah.
or 5 countries.
But you want to be careful in your report. Your report's going to have to be quite meaty. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that there's enough body in your report. But that was very interesting as
Do
well.
you think should I do it again?
No. I think you acted as a guinea pig and you did well. You're very confident up there. So well done, Chris. That's it. That's good in the bag. Right, Drew. You want to give it a back?